Hi, everybody. I've just finished work and something's been kind of on my mind all day long. Um, One, I've noticed how often the term conspiracy theory is used these days, particularly within the mainstream media. And it reminds me of the days when there was another terrible tag you could put on people, and that was to call them politically correct. It implied that the person was woolly-minded, hadn't thought things through, was soft, hyper-liberal, way, 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 way to the left of centre, and somehow addled of mind. Well, these days, the way people try and discredit alternative points of view is to call them conspiracy theorists. And it's almost as if the moment you put that label down of conspiracy theorist, you just shut down the conversation. No further rational discussion is possible. Now, we're in a time when, in all my life in journalism, I have never seen so much consensus within the mainstream media along issues of how we should manage the pandemic and what the end goal should be. And it seems, as I read everywhere, that the end goal is to find some kind of vaccine. Okay. Now, people my age were raised on vaccines. People my age were raised on the primacy of science. People my age really don't actually have that much faith in things like natural remedies and herbal treatments. They were something that came along kind of after my time. So I should be one of the people who's out there going rah, rah, rah for the new vaccine that's coming up. So just so we're clear, I am not, never have been, an anti-vaxxer. I tell you what I am completely anti, and what worries me to my bones, is a situation in which vaccines or therapies are being created without full public inquiry, overview, oversight, call it what you will, and adequate peer review. This for the reason that a sense is being created that Big Pharma has closed ranks. Of course, Mr. Gates is long associated with Big Pharma. And one can't help but wonder how much disclosure there has been of who funds who for what reason. I feel that this question can easily be made to evaporate at a time when the public needs confidence in government and its policies. These issues can easily be made to go away by having full, free and frank declaration of all the interests involved. So, for anybody taking part in research, development, testing, trial and distribution of whatever our new solution is going to be, I want to know what they had for lunch yesterday. It's my right. Particularly when I'm told that the new vaccine we're going for is a kind of vaccine we've never had before. Now, I'm not a virologist, I'm not even a biochemist. I do know, however, that the new vaccine we're going for seems to want to modify our bodies at the genetic level. Now, that's something altogether different. I love science, but I hate anything that smacks of Frankenstein science. Another thing that worries me is how silent the medical establishment is. I see very few doctors sticking their noses above the parapet to say anything other than the official curated narrative that we're hearing. Again, I'm not a scientist. However, I have wisdom and I have a lot of life experience. And if something walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, my life experience will tell me to call it a duck. So, to set everybody's mind at ease, there should be a complete and total declaration of interests of all the stakeholders in this pandemic management game, so that we know that everybody's interests are declared. And once everybody's interests are declared, we can also order peer review by independent bodies. I mean, we don't want a situation where I, Tete, am marking my own homework. It's just, yeah, well, you can see, I don't have to explain further. I want a situation that if I do the work, I want my mate over there, who may know me professionally, but has never been funded by me, has never been aided by me, has never worked together in a company with me, is the one who's checking my work, because he's not beholden to me. He is beholden to his good reputation and professional standards and ethics. So that's how we stop this business of conspiracy theorists. Instead of putting out labels on people, all we want is a piece of transparency in the system. Also, the last thing I would say is that given the circumstances of the world right now, I think it is very important that anybody who is elected to high office as an official, particularly within any of the pandemic sphere, as I call it now, people who are involved in research, development, government advice, sitting on special committees and so on and so forth, we want to know who has funded them for the last 5 years would do for me. Some people would say 10. That way, again, we know exactly who's sitting around the table and making the decisions. Just me. But calling people conspiracy theorists doesn't make anything go away. Actually, what it does is it just raises curiosity about what they're conspiring to say. Thank you very much.